Muhammad Umar biological video. Please subscribe and share and like the video. Ask the question for answer and about the artwork. Thanks. In this video, we will talk about the peristaltic movement and esophagus physiology and anatomy. So here we will start is here. So that is the peristaltic movement is the movement of the bolus which that are masticated food go enter into the esophageal tract. That's the known as peristaltic movement by the contraction and relaxation of the circular and longitudinal muscle. When longitudinal muscle and circular muscle antagonistically work, for example, the circular muscle contract and longitudinal muscle will relax. So here is the bolus of food and epiglottis up toward the up, that is epiglottis is here, and here is the glottis below the epiglottis, and the larynx is down, and there's a larynx with that are windpipe, upper side of the windpipe, that's and trachea, that's known as trachea is windpipe, and that is down during the not going the bolus into the esophagus. And another is the showing in the orange color with that esophageal sphincter muscles which that are contracted during the not going the bolus inside of the esophageal tract. So the esophagus is closed, in the upper part is that esophageal sphincter, and the next I draw during the swallowing process, that is the swallowing process, the bolus will enter and esophageal sphincter relaxed, and the esophagus open and glottis upward and closed. The glottis is the upper part of the windpipe, that is the trachea. Upper part of the trachea is known as glottis, and glottis going to upward and epiglottis down. Epiglottis going to down, basically. Glottis that's go glottis go up and epiglottis go down to close the windpipe and do not enter the food into the windpipe as a respiratory tract. So that's important, and close, and the epiglottis down, and muscle, that's the esophageal sphincter muscle relaxed, and esophageal muscle will relax to enter the food inside of the digestive tract, that is known as esophagus. That's esophagus will go inside that. Here is the basically esophageal sphincter contracted, and here is the esophageal sphincter relaxed. That's the below the esophageal sphincter is going to the esophageal tract, that is known as esophagus. That is the esophagus is made up of circular muscle and longitudinal muscle. That's the circular muscle contract, longitudinal muscles relax, and that things the circular muscle first contract and longitudinal muscle will relax. That's the going the food downward due to the gravity. Thus gravity assists to downward of the food. So that the here is the downward, and circular muscle relax and contract antagonistically with the opposition of the longitudinal muscles which that are relaxed and contract to give a propulsion for of force propel of the food, that's known as bolus, and bolus will propel down due to the gravity. That's the go into the stomach, and stomach will digest more. For example, carbohydrate is semi-digested into the oral cavity via a mandibular gland and salivary glands, the parotid glands, and produce the saliva and bicarbonates, salt, and saliva which digest the starch into semi digestion of starch that convert into the single little branches as compared to the before. There's a starch is mainly starch is mainly amylose and amylopectin. That's amylose and amylopectin convert into the single amylose and go into the stomach and further digestion into the duodenum. That's the we will discuss in next topic. So here is the relaxed muscle and contractive muscles and Ferrino esophageal stomach ligaments are present is here. There's the diaphragm and the lungs end of the basically lungs part is known as Ferrino esophageal stomach ligaments and pyloric sphincter muscles are present. There's a pyloric sphincter is the distal esophagus when end of the esophagus is known as distal and the beginning of the esophagus is known as proximal esophagus. That is known. Now we will talk about the here is I draw a anatomical structure of the basically pyloric sphincter muscle. So the pyloric sphincter muscle here is the distal esophagus. There's a distal esophagus is open into go into the circular muscles and longitudinal muscles are present is here and down is the basic structure is I draw is here. So there's the basically is here is the downward and that's the basically external ligaments and here is the external ligaments and below there's the basically is known as Ferrino esophageal ligaments. The Ferrino esophageal ligaments is here. That is the Ferrino esophageal ligaments are present is here and down is the stomach. That's the stomach and and the down is stomach and the basically is here is the between the sphincter muscles that are present in the scamocolumnar junction, that is known as scamocolumnar junction. That is scamocolumnar junction is present which that are responsible for the contraction and entering the food and expel the again the food is resistivity, creation of resistivity. That is the food will not go back anti-peristalsis but sometime will produce the anti-peristalsis. We will talk about the anti-peristalsis, that is in the vomiting condition due to the glucose level is low. Another things we will discuss in this topic in end point. So here is the basically distal esophageal and the circular muscles and longitudinal muscles are work antagonistically. Antagonistically mean the one muscle is contract and the another muscle is relaxed and that muscle is relaxed is going to contract and the circular or another muscle is going to relax. When contract, relax, contract is and that is the major system which that is known as antagonistically or opposite function. That is the opposite function of the muscle. So here is the I draw assume the circular muscle and here is the longitudinal muscles are present in here. The longitudinal muscle is relaxed and extend and long and circular muscle will contract and small and shorten. Then shorten circular muscle shorten to propel the food downward due to the gravity work too much and the muscles work as well. And here I draw another diagram is circular and longitudinal muscle. So circular muscle is relax and longitudinal muscle contract. If longitudinal muscles relax and extend, the circular muscle contract. That is the simple science about the basic concept about the peristaltic movement. That is peristaltic movement is here is downward, then shorten, and here is the extend and larger, and here is the shorter, and here is the extend of the longitudinal muscle. That is the basic concept about the peristaltic movement which that are present. And here I talk about the peristaltic movement and go into the peristaltic movement basically go into the stomach and whole. Remember it, one thing I want to mention it, the digestive tract is composed with circular and longitudinal muscle which that peristaltic movement will produce end time. That's the after the expel of the food in the anus. So here I draw a person with that anatomy of the esophagus. The here is the basically thoracic inlet, and there I draw a basically 45 centimeter long esophagus is present in the human body. And here is the upper central incisors which that contain a teeth etc. that is begin to the tract into the cervical which that are 50 centimeter. After that's a cervical thoracic inlet, that's a upper thoracic and middle thoracic going to 25 to 30, and thoracic means the thorax region, and the 30 to 35 is the lower thoracic esophagus, and esophagus basically going to 40, and abdominal esophagus is going to 45. That is the upper esophageal sphincter are present is here, and here is the thoracic inlet and a spinal sternal notch are present is here. That is the basic region. And below the esophageal sphincter junction, uh, uh, basically here is the diaphragm which that begin to 40 to 45 centimeter. That is the easy anatomy. And here is the basically upper region 0 to 5 centimeter is teeth, and going to 10 centimeter is known as the oral cavity, and going to 50 centimeter cervical and upper thoracic and middle thoracic. You can pause the video and watch the content with detail. So here is I will talk about the another thing is that known as antiperistalsis movement. The antiperistalsis movement is circular muscle contract first and longitudinal muscle relax. The circular muscle contract to move upward the food due to the due to pH change in body, bacteria infected food, or our basically our fatting or sugar level, our eating basically and sugar level, and our using the fat and sugar level dropping. That is the major basic concept about the antiperistalsis. And another thing is the hunger pang which that are used while the contraction of circular and longitudinal muscle during the 12 to 24 hours after meal to create uncomfort sensation, low blood glucose level if will not eat. So the glucagon, and the very important thing, the glucagon will increase glycogenolysis which further go to lipolysis and neogenolysis. It means the production of sugar from the protein by the protein, and keto acetoacetate by the protein, and hydroxybutyrate and acetate will produce in starvation mode if we extend the starvation. First of all the glycogen depletion, and after the depletion of glycogen the whole things will be depletion further one by one. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share the video.